On Sunday, just hours after SI broke the news detailing allegations of sexual harassment and racist behavior involving Jerry Richardson, the Carolina Panthers owner then announced he is selling the team at the end of the season. Jon Wertheim, along with Viv Bernstein, were the reporters on the story. Jon joins me now. Jon, the news came out on Friday that the Panthers were investigating Richardson. At that point, had you spoken to the team? Did they know that this was coming down?
Yeah, Friday, the team, you'll remember, announced the investigation that curiously was going to be led by a minority partner, Erskine Bowles. The team had gotten wind that we were reporting. As we expected, we talked to a number of employees, and it stood to reason someone would tell the team. So the team had wind of this. They did the Nixonian Friday night press release that they were conducting an investigation. That sort of, just candidly, that accelerated the process. We sent them questions Saturday, they responded Sunday, and the story went up before kickoff Sunday.
The Panthers allegedly knew the undercurrent of this behavior from Richardson. As a reporter who's covered the sports world for years, were you surprised? Was the NFL community surprised?
It's funny. I can't really speak to that. Sort of the facts are the facts, and clearly there was a certain culture that we detailed. It's unclear to me who knew what and who was complicit and who wasn't complicit. And I wonder whether this investigation goes forward if there's a sale, if Jerry Richardson is no longer the owner. Is there still an investigation? Because, as we allege in the story, Jerry Richardson was a perpetrator, but this was a workplace. This was also a situation involving an organization.
The Panthers and Jerry Richardson are synonymous, but this announcement for this sale came very quickly. And you look at a similar controversy in Donald Sterling, the former Clippers owner. He refused to go down without a fight. Why the sudden announcement? Why not a fight?
Yeah, that's a question for Jerry Richardson. He's 81 years old. He's already said that the team would not go to his sons and that he would be selling the team. Obviously, you can sort of draw your own inferences about yesterday's two news events and whether they're related. But I think, and I wonder if he has further statement. But at 81 years old and in the face of some of the details that we provided, you wonder sort of what his thinking was.
In that statement, he didn't discuss any of the allegations. So I wonder two things. One, are there more allegations that are going to surface about him? And then I wonder what is going to happen with the investigation, because this isn't going away.
I think that's the big question, whether the NFL pursues this investigation, even if Jerry Richardson is no longer the owner, even if he goes through with this sale. I think the big question now, is what happens to this franchise overall. And there's a pledge Jerry Richardson had made in exchange for almost $90 million to keep the team tethered to Charlotte for several more years. Does that now still have validity if there's an owner from another market? I have to say, as a sports fan, it would be a real pity if Charlotte lost its NFL team. This has been a good fan base. This has been a sort of a loyal community. If they lost their NFL team over the bad acts of their owner, that would be a pity. But I think the question now becomes, what's the fate of this organization? Were
you surprised that it came so quickly after filing?
Candidly, yes. I think, this story dropped around kickoff of the Panthers game, and at dinner time, we have an announcement the team's suddenly for sale. Again, read into that what you will. The team's communications with us were very minimal. They sort of re-released the same statement they put up Friday saying no comment, and we try to aspire to a workplace of equality. I think there are probably some questions that ought to be directed at the Panthers now.
Jerry Jones reflected on what happened, and he said, I'm paraphrasing, that he wants all those kinds of men, referring to Richardson, that we could have in the NFL. Surprising, but are we going to hear similar sentiments? What's going to come from owners in the league?
We talk about the NFL ownership as an exclusive fraternity, and this seems like closing ranks. Again, I saw that statement from Jerry Jones and thought of the people I spoke to. If you're the African-American scout that we spoke to who allegedly left the team after Jerry Richardson directed a racial slur at him, you have another owner saying that the NFL will be depleted in the absence of Jerry Richardson. We need more of that. Wonder what that scout is thinking today.
We've seen a reckoning in the media, in politics, in Hollywood. With this news and the news coming out from the NFL Network from last week, is the sports world going to become engulfed in that post-Harvey Weinstein wave?
Yeah, I think there was a sense until last week of, boy, it's curious. The sports world has really avoided this wave. And you think about the circumstances, and you think about the power dynamic and the power imbalance and the male to female ratio, sort of all the dimensions to this climate. And it's very curious that sports managed to avoid this. I think just logically, I mean, now we've got two examples in the last 2 weeks, as you referenced, the NFL Network, Jerry Richardson. We hear murmurings of some other scenarios. I think you mentioned the word reckoning, and it does seem as though sports will get its reckoning.
This could be just the beginning.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.